They thought he was a rookie the moment he stepped onto the range, not because he looked weak, but because he looked ordinary, almost forgettable, the kind of man you'd pass in a hallway and never remember twice, his uniform worn but not decorated, his rifle older than most of the weapons around him, his movements calm to the point of seeming uncertain, and as the elite snipers gathered from different units, men with records, legends whispered about in mess halls, men who had ended battles with a single pull of the trigger. Quiet smirks spread among them when they heard his name placed last on the roster, a newcomer, a transfer, someone no one had seen in action, and the comments started softly at first, jokes about rookies needing luck more than skill, about how this was no place to learn, because the range before them wasn't ordinary either. It was a brutal proving ground designed to humiliate anyone who lacked absolute mastery. Wind currents twisting through the valley, shifting temperatures, uneven elevation, and a target placed so far away it shimmered like a mirage 4,700 meters far beyond what most considered practical, let alone possible, and when the instructors announced the distance, even seasoned snipers adjusted their posture, recalculating, questioning the conditions, because at that range a bullet doesn't just travel, it negotiates with gravity, wind, air density, rotation of the earth itself, and one mistake, one misjudgment, even the smallest, would mean a miss so wide it would be embarrassing. Yet the rookie said nothing, didn't he ask questions, didn't he double check the math out loud, he simply lay prone, adjusted his bipod with slow precision, checked his breathing, and stared through the scope with the patience of someone who had waited longer than anyone could imagine, while others whispered that he was either brave or foolish, because even the elites were struggling. Shots rang out one by one, each sniper taking their turn, bullets cracking through the air, dust kicking up meters away from the target, near misses that would have been impossible shots at any other distance, and still the target stood untouched. The murmurs growing quieter, frustration replacing confidence, until finally it was the rookie's turn, and a few people actually looked away, assuming the outcome was already written. But then something changed. The air itself seemed to pause. He adjusted his position one last time, exhaled slowly, not rushing, not forcing the moment, his finger resting on the trigger as if it belonged there. And when the shot finally broke, it wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, it was clean, controlled, almost gentle, and for a brief moment nothing happened, no cheers, no reaction, just silence, until a distant metallic sound echoed back across the range, faint but unmistakable, the sound of impact. Dead center, and confusion spread instantly, instructors checking scopes, observers leaning forward, disbelief turning into shock as confirmation came through the radio. The target was hit, not grazed, not clipped, but struck perfectly, and the range fell completely silent. Elite snipers frozen where they stood, staring at the rookie as if seeing him for the first time, because that shot wasn't luck, it wasn't chance, it was mastery, the kind earned through years of failure, discipline, and experience that no rank or rumor could reveal. And as questions flooded in, where did he train, how long had he been shooting, what unit was he from, he simply stood, cleared his weapon, and stepped back without a word, because for him the shot wasn't about proving anyone wrong, it was about doing exactly what he had trained to do, and later they would learn the truth, that he had served in places no one talked about, under conditions no one trained for, that he had taken shots where missing meant more than failure, it meant lives lost, and 4,700 meters wasn't the longest distance he had ever calculated, just the longest anyone else had bothered to measure. And from that day forward, no one on that range ever judged silence as weakness again, because they learned that sometimes the most dangerous shooter in the room isn't the loudest, the most decorated, or the most confident, but the one who waits, watches, and lets a single shot speak louder than a lifetime of words. No one spoke after the confirmation came through the radio. The instructors stood frozen, binoculars still raised, as if lowering them would somehow undo what they had just witnessed. The elite snipers, men who had spent decades mastering ballistics, wind theory, and long-range lethality, looked not at the distant target anymore, but at the rookie. A single hit at 4,700 meters didn't just break records, it shattered assumptions. At that distance, a bullet spends seconds in the air, vulnerable to invisible forces most shooters never fully conquer. Yet his round had flown true, as if guided by certainty rather than chance. The range commander finally cleared his throat and ordered a verification sweep. Drones lifted into the air, cameras zooming in on the target, transmitting live footage to the screens behind the firing line. The image was undeniable: center mass, clean penetration, textbook perfection. A few snipers shook their heads slowly, others laughed under their breath, not from humor but disbelief. One veteran muttered, "That's not a rookie shot. That's a lifetime shot." The rookie, still quiet, sat alone on a crate, cleaning his rifle with practiced efficiency. His hands never shook. There was no celebration in his posture, no satisfaction on his face. To him, the shot was already over, filed away, another calculation completed. An instructor approached and asked the question everyone wanted answered, "Where did you learn to shoot like that?" The rookie paused, then replied calmly, "Places where missing wasn't an option." That answer spread faster than any rumor. Whispers followed him as the range reset. Some believed he had come from a classified unit, others suspected foreign training, a few even doubted the shot altogether until the commander announced a second challenge. Same shooter. New variables. Stronger crosswinds. Reduced visibility. A moving target. The murmurs grew louder. One perfect shot could be luck. Two would be impossible. As clouds rolled in and wind flags snapped violently, experienced snipers recalculated and withdrew their earlier confidence. At this distance, wind wasn't a factor, it was the factor. The rookie returned to the line without protest. He adjusted for Coriolis drift, air density, temperature gradients, and elevation like someone reciting a memory. When the moving target began its slow crawl across the far ridge, some shook their heads in quiet sympathy. The shot came later this time. Much later. Minutes passed. The rookie waited, breathing steady, eyes locked, mind silent. Then one pull. One round. Silence again. This time the impact took longer to register, stretching the tension until it felt unbearable. Then the radio crackled, impact confirmed. Second hit. The range erupted not in cheers, but stunned chaos. Questions, arguments, disbelief. The commander raised a hand for silence and looked at the rookie with something close to respect. "You're not here to prove anything," he said. "So why are you here?" The rookie met his gaze and answered simply, "Because someone asked me to be." That night, as the range emptied, files were opened. Old deployments resurfaced. Missions with redacted names. After-action reports that mentioned impossible shots taken under impossible conditions. Slowly, a picture formed not of a rookie, but of a ghost. A shooter sent where others couldn't go. A man trusted with decisions that ended wars quietly. And by morning, everyone on that range understood one thing clearly: the most dangerous weapon there wasn't the rifle, it was the man who knew exactly when to use it. By dawn, the rumor had evolved into legend. The rookie's name appeared nowhere in public records, yet his shadow stretched across briefing rooms and command offices. Senior officers arrived unannounced, watching from behind tinted glass as the range prepared for another evaluation. This time, it wasn't about distance, it was about pressure. Because skill alone doesn't define a sniper. Decision does. The scenario was brutal, multiple targets, civilians interspersed, hostile movement unpredictable, time compressed. A simulation designed to break even the best shooters. The elite snipers who had once mocked the rookie now watched silently, aware that they were witnessing something rare: pure composure. The rookie analyzed the field not like a shooter, but like a strategist. He ignored obvious targets, waited through moments others would have fired, let threats expose themselves fully before acting. When he finally engaged, the shots were surgical, precise, deliberate, and mercilessly efficient. Each round solved a problem. Each pause prevented a mistake. After the exercise, the commander reviewed the footage frame by frame. No wasted movement. No unnecessary shot. "You shoot like someone who has already lost too much," he said quietly. The rookie didn't answer. Some stories aren't meant to be spoken. Later, alone in the armory, an old sergeant approached him. A man with silver hair and tired eyes. "I've seen shots like yours before," the sergeant said. "Long time ago. Different war." The rookie looked up, surprised for the first time. The sergeant smiled faintly. "Thought so." By the end of the day, the evaluation was complete. No announcement was made. No medals awarded. Just a quiet transfer order, sealed and signed. The rookie packed his gear the same way he always did, efficiently, without attachment. As he walked toward the exit, the elite snipers stood aside, not out of instruction, but instinct. Respect earned, not demanded. Before leaving, the commander stopped him one last time. "That shot," he said. 4007.